Well, hello everyone and welcome to another reaction video, this time to Andor Season 2, Episode 6. The wrapping up of the second kind of mini-arc in the show, I think. Last time we had a bunch of stuff. We mostly focused on Gorman. We had Cyril and his plans there and faking out, basically, that ISB is spying on him and the local rebels on Gorman were, like, trusting him more. All of that's happening. Cassian showed up on Gorman too, and he was basically evaluating the capabilities of the rebels there, and he deemed them not worthy enough to carry out this theft mission of stealing military supplies or something like that, and I think he left at the end. I think Bix was continuing to be depressed. I guess the other storyline was with Willman, I think was his name, and he's with Saw, and he's kind of become a true believer, kind of. So yeah, let's get started. Ooh, I like how that camera moves around on its own. That was cool. Man, the light is so good, like shining onto him. Holy.
How do you know what I did?
We heard it didn't go very well.
Oh, you heard? Really? I only left this morning.
Oh boy.
They're not ready, Luthen.
Very
I think they
true.
know that.
They want to hijack an Imperial transport to prove something that everybody already knows is true.
True. Good point.
The
Yeah.
Empire will care about it. They're finally wanting to do something. You tell them to be careful.
Yeah. It's pretty important.
It doesn't matter to you, does it?
You think you're small, you're thinking like a thief.
I'm thinking like a soldier.
Think like a leader.
Ooh, ooh.
Think about a planet like Gorman in rebellion.
If it goes up in flames,
I feel like it definitely will go up in flames.
It will burn. Very brightly.
I love Luthen scenes. They're very fun. It's so different from the rest of Star Wars. I feel like we just don't get scenes like that, like serious, like not monologue, but like just serious scenes like that. Oh my goodness. Okay, so they've sent other people to Gorman now. That's a very Andor shot. The tracking shot behind the shoulder or whatever. Oh my god, is she overdosed? Is she unconscious right now?
you okay?
She is not okay. She can't sleep. She's got PTSD. She's on drugs.
We'll talk. He waits for me to leave. He comes when you're alone.
He changed his mind, so...
Well, she can't go out on her own?
He knows you need a rest.
She can decide that.
I would have gone if he asked.
He's so pissed off, he's not gonna tell me.
It's not all about you, Cassian. Jesus.
I count 80 news and
80.
hosting investiture banquets.
We're getting a lot of Luthen in this episode. Is this going to be his final episode? There's no way, right? He's got to be in the final 2 arcs, right? Who could it be? Oh, Cassian. What on earth is he doing here this time?
Come to the house and you mess with Bix. You had to know she would tell me.
I thought it would be interesting if you didn't. But now you both disappointed me.
Hmm.
It would just be easier if I was alone.
Don't say that. Oh my god.
With you.
That's going to give Luthen an idea.
Part of
And have convinced the Emperor that Dr. Gorst is too valuable to be a one-man ISB asset. It
Uh-oh.
must be expanded into a program. It's...
An honor, sir.
Really? It's an assignment. Celebrate your enthusiasm.
I love that. So Luthen's just going along with the plan anyway, even without Cassian's approval.
Cyril must never know what this is all really about.
Oh, he doesn't know. Wow.
I remind myself.
Cinta and I will have blasters. Nobody else. And I mean nobody.
Someone's definitely going to have blasters. They are so lucky that the Empire wants them to do this.
It's more where it is.
She's excited. I feel like it's just... everything's going to go according to Dedra's plan. Like, if Cassian was there, things would be different. But right now, I don't know. Everything's going to go according to her plan. I feel like we're almost certainly leading to a Bix's suicide kind of arc here. Or it's going to be a Bix's faked suicide, and Luthen's going to kill her and make it look like a suicide.
All the more reason. He shouldn't have let you say no.
People are really not happy with Luthen.
For the peace and bounty of all beings,
What a voice! Oh my god.
my full allegiance.
This is so cool.
A galaxy of worlds
This is like a pledge you have to make to the Senate? Like to the Emperor?
assembled. An empire.
This is so cool. Oh my goodness. What a great voice actor they got for that guy. Oh my god. Cool music. Very Kaminoan kind of episode 2 music. I feel like we're leading up to the end of Luthen here. If this is Luthen in the car, we're definitely... Oh, no, it's Mon Mothma. Okay, we're good, we're good. There's a chance. There's a chance Luthen can get out of this. Oh, my goodness.
Apologies for any inconvenience.
Oh, my God. Everything's coming to a climax here. Is that a camera bot? The camera droid, I guess? Man. Interesting, no sign of Cyril at all this episode. Oh, there he is. Man, speaking of the devil. God.
Soak it up. We'll never be back here again.
Oh, man, we got a lot of characters here. It's a strange mission, because the point is for them to succeed. But it is interesting that we're spending so much time on the plan, when we know that, like, the Empire wants them to succeed, so they're not going to face much resistance. What's the subversion going to be?
I haven't heard from my cousin.
She's on Gorman.
I'll tell her to check in with me.
Something urgent she needs knowing.
Everyone's got people they love, except for
Care
Luthen.
about her.
And the Miracle Man, who helped secure this very special piece, is actually here with us tonight. Director Krennic.
Oh my God.
Pleasure.
That was unexpected. Cool.
You're going to help me by blocking the view.
You can't possibly be serious.
Oh my God, help her out. This is stressful. Oh my goodness. The fact that Krennic's there makes it so much worse. Oh my goodness. Cool. That makes sense. That was a cool shot as well. Oh my God. Oh no. Oh no. Could be a random citizen?
You seem fixated on defining people by their resistance to power.
This debate. Oh my God.
Have meaning. What a swell party this is.
This is tense. Oh, she's gonna snap it. It's gonna snap and it's gonna be so loud and everyone's gonna see it. Has he seen her before? I don't think so, right? Oh no. Oh, he has a blaster. Why does he have a blaster? Don't. Oh, this is. Oh no. The Empire can use this, right? What? No way. This is crazy.
It's very special.
Why?
True.
Don't you dare cry.
It's better he cries than not care, right?
What fun.
You're welcome.
I can't believe they got out of there. Wow.
Hey, sir. You should have killed Krennic while we were up there.
Jesus.
That's the spirit.
He's in a real good mood. Oh my goodness. I can't believe that went off without any issues. Oh my goodness. Everything was hinting at that being like a, this is the end of Luthen. Oh, the torturer guy. What a cool shot. What on earth? Who? Oh, he's a Bix? He's gonna be like that for a long time. Emperor's not gonna be happy about that. Ooh, Cassian was involved too. Okay. Alright. If they're in it together, then... Alright. Wow. What a subversion. Oh my goodness. Like, the two storylines I thought were gonna end tragically ended with happy endings, and the one that I thought was gonna end with a happy ending ended with a tragedy. I mean, I guess that's the point, but wow. So that was the best episode this season, or should I say the best episode of the season so far. I guess there'll probably be better ones as time goes on and become more climactic and get toward the end of the season, but that was great. All three storylines were really good. We had the reinvestment party stuff, we had the stuff on Gorman, and we had the Bix and Cassian stuff, and I actually liked most of these, like, all together. Like, it was all really good. So in terms of notes, I don't have too much this time. I feel like I just haven't had too much in general. But the first thing is about the reinvestment party. So we had a bunch of characters here, which was really cool. We had, so let's see if I can list more. We had Mon Mothma and her husband. We had Skolden. We had the ISB guy and Clea and Luthen. We had Krennic. We had the ISB spy guy, his two co-workers. There was a lot of people here, basically. Oh, there was Bail Organa as well. Oh my goodness. Kind of crazy. And he was there for like a very brief cameo, and I don't think we'll see him again, but it was cool. Yeah. So that was really cool. I liked all that. Luthen was a very big presence in this episode, more so than all the other episodes this season. He has had a few scenes throughout, but this one really focused on him. And not only like he got a lot of scenes, like he got the scene at the beginning with Cassian, he got scenes later with Cassian, he got a scene with Obviously, all the scenes at the party were with him. Like, he had a bunch there, I mean. But off screen, he was mentioned a bunch too. Like, obviously, Bix and Cassian have their big argument about, like, why Luthen was there and whether he has the right to, like, show up and all that. Like, they had an argument there. And Vel and Cinta also had the same, like, kind of argument as well about, like, Luthen and sharing information and all that. So, he was a very big presence in this episode. And people are starting to hate him, I guess, is the way that it was, like, kind of set up, right? You have, like I said, Bix and Cassian. More so Cassian is starting to be like, Luthen is, like, manipulating me. He's, like, making me, like, showing up to in front of Bix when I'm not there is, like, a manipulation thing. And it's all about Luthen in Cassian's eyes, not about him, even though it's more about the cause in Luthen's eyes, right? And then the same thing for Cassian and Vel, where Vel and Cinta, sorry, where Vel is, like, upset at Luthen for not telling her about Cinta and the thing that she went through, basically. Basically, what these two storylines are both doing are that both of these, like, two pairs of people are choosing love over the cause, right? They're thinking that, like, the way you build a happier world is through, like, loving people around you. Whereas Luthen's philosophy is more so, you gotta disregard everything. You have to burn everything, as I think he said in his speech last season, to build a tomorrow that you'll never see or whatever. It's for people other than yourself. It's more of a selfless thing, and you build it through being ruthless. You build it by being worse than your enemy. I don't know, it's an interesting, like, diametrically, I don't know if that's the right word, very opposed theories of how you operate a cause like this. Obviously, I would probably side with the love one, right? Like, love is important. You're building a world for people, like, the people you love, like, you should probably have them at the center. I don't know. It's interesting, though, because then it builds to, like, disaligned interests and stuff, and it leads to the pride of people like on Gorman who are like, I'm gonna take a gun because this is my planet and I know best and I'm gonna protect it, which leads to deaths like Cinta's death and all that. I don't know. Anyway, this is all interesting. I liked it. Luthen's role in this, and every time he has a scene, I always love him, so that was great. And this reinvestment party stuff ended with a happy ending, which is kind of crazy. And, like, extremely happy, where, like, Luthen is so ecstatic that they managed to get the device out that he's willing to joke in public about killing Krennic, which is amazing. And it's so I like this a lot. This is a really, really good storyline, really good ending, which also sets it up for, like, ooh, where do we go on, like, a time skip now? Because we're at the end of this arc, so it's going to be a 1 year time skip, right? Oh my goodness. We'll talk about it at the end. But that's the first storyline. The next one is the Bix and Cassian storyline. I feel like I've already touched mostly on this, but the big thing that we are doing now is that they're going to be working together, right? Seemingly. You had, I guess, it makes it feel like initially, maybe I'm an unobservant viewer, and maybe if you pay more attention, you can figure this out, but it seemed initially that Bix was doing something crazy, which is going out and hunting down this torturer guy so that she can get vengeance on him, and Cassian didn't know, and Luthen didn't know, and it's gonna be like the end of the rebellion because she's like outing herself, and blah, 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 blah. But then you see at the end that it's actually she's working with Cassian, and maybe this is part of that mission that we got, like we learned about earlier, where the light was blinking, and they go to Luthen, and maybe this is all part of the game, right? Which is cool. So, you know, another happy ending where they're both walking very similarly, parallel to what Luthen and Clea were doing at the end of their episode, walking away. They're doing a very similar thing here. So that was really cool. Then we have the Gorman storyline, which was, it did not end in a happy ending. Interestingly, like I said at the end of the reaction, it is a subversion where, to me at least, I was expecting that one to be the only one that goes smoothly and the other two to be the ones that go terribly. I'm expecting Bix's suicide, not anymore, but I was expecting it in this episode, as in, like, this is where her story is going. And I was also expecting Luthen to actually be captured, or, like, this could be the end of his story here, especially with the fact that Krennic was in that room. But no, what ended up happening is Cinta ends up dying, this whole mission with Vel, and she's obviously going to blame both the Gorman rebels there as well as Luthen for all of this. But yeah, it's not good. Tragedy. But one thing I want to say is that I don't actually remember Cinta and Vel's relationship at all. Now, I'm sure it was there in those first 3-4 episodes in that first season, which is probably why I don't remember it that well, because it is like the first arc in that season. I did watch a recap though, and I don't remember that recap kind of telling me about that, but I also just don't remember it that well. So, I don't know. It felt a little bit flat where I'm like, I don't really remember. I'm not really invested in this relationship at all, but that's on me, you know, I just don't remember this stuff. The other thing is about Cinta's accident that she was talking about, like, oh, this thing happened back in the day, a tragic thing, or like about a year ago, or this past year has been tough, and, you know, Luthen didn't tell you about it and all that. The fact that we say this past year has been tough makes me think that it might be related to what happened with Mon Mothma's friend, who we saw Cinta driving away with at the end of that last time skip, like before it time skipped. I don't know what that would be though. Like, did she feel bad about having to kill that guy? Like, was it a thing? It can't be that though, right? Like, she's a rebel. I'm sure she's killed people before. So I'm not sure. Like, maybe it's just meant to be an off-screen thing that we're like not meant to know what it is, and we're just meant to assume that she went through something traumatic, and the fact that she was isolated didn't help, and she wished she could have been with Vel and all that. It's meant to add to the tragedy of her death, where it's like, man, she was suffering so much, and in the end she just died, not getting any kind of peace. I don't know. Or maybe it's literally something that happened that I've just completely forgotten, or just wasn't even paying enough attention to know about. So yeah, let me know if there's like an answer to this, but yeah. What else was there? Oh, another interesting thing that happened in this Gorman stuff is after Cinta died and Vel was kind of a bit in shock, all the people around her, all the Gorman people, were very, like, gentle to her in a way that I wouldn't have expected, because they were very confrontational to her in that initial meeting. But after they see that she's lost Cinta, they don't like rub it in her face and be like, hey, we shouldn't have trusted you, or like, what do you know, you pathetic failure, or like, they didn't do any of that, which they very easily could have done. They were like kind of very kind to her and gentle and stuff, and I thought that was interesting, and just not what I would have expected from the way that we set up that initial kind of confrontation at that table. So that was cool. I like that. Yeah. And then the only other thing that I have specifically on Gorman has to do with Dedra and Cyril, which is that we learned that Dedra isn't actually telling Cyril the entire plan, right? To extract the resources and all that, I think, is what's going on there. Which is interesting, because what that does is it sets up a parallel between her and Luthen, right? Because what we've been establishing, specifically in this episode, like I said before, we've got Vel and Cinta, who are choosing love over the cause. We've got Cassian and Bix, who are choosing love over the cause. And on the other end, we've got Luthen and Dedra, who are choosing the cause over love, right? On two sides of the spectrum, we've got the rebellion side represented by Luthen, and we got the ISB, or like Empire side, represented by Dedra. And they're both choosing like their kind of mission to be more important than like the people around them. Whereas obviously, I think Cyril probably is more in love with Dedra than he is for the cause, right? I would assume, but I'm not sure. He was a very kind of strict kind of guy in the back of the day, so I guess it's not 100% confirmed. But what I imagine is one day this is going to either break Cyril's heart in that he's going to find out and be very heartbroken about it, or Dedra will die and he'll never find out, and the tragedy will be that like she was lying to him the whole time and he loves her more than he should. So I'm interested to see where this goes. But my other final note before my predictions for what happens next time is about Bix and the role of women in the rebellion. So this is something I touched on very briefly last time, or like maybe 2 episodes ago or something like that, where I had a thing where I was like, man, there's like, it is interesting seeing like Cassian go do all the exciting stuff and see Luthen do all the crazy spy stuff, and then on the other end you've got Bix, who's like staying alone at home and doing nothing, and Cassian's protecting her by saying, you know, you're not ready to leave and you're too weak for this and all that. And then you've got Clea as well, who's doing a kind of a similar thing where she's always there kind of like using the equipment but not really going out and doing anything. It feels like there's a little bit of stuff to do with, I don't know, misogyny, not misogyny, what's the best word, like sexism, I guess, or sexist gender roles or whatever in the rebellion, which is interesting. The reason I thought of this time is that it was the scene with Bix and Cassian, specifically in this episode, where he kind of feels like she's staying home and like waiting for her man to like get back home, you know, which is a very kind of like, it takes away her agency. Like she is, or her role in things is to kind of wait for Cassian to come home. Obviously it's not anymore, but it felt like it at the beginning of this episode, right? And there is that scene, like I was briefly touching on there, where Cassian basically gets upset that Luthen visited her, and his response is basically to imply that she's not strong enough, or like at least not strong enough yet to go out and do things on her own. It feels a little bit like he's speaking down to her a little bit. I don't know. It's just interesting. I don't think this is like going to be a big thematic thing, or it's going to lead to anything specifically, but it was just something interesting I noticed. So yeah. Those were my notes. Now, there's going to be a 1-year time skip is my assumption, because we are at the end of this like 3-episode stretch. Now, the first thing I'm going to predict is going to be much more frequent rebel activity on Gorman. I feel like now that they've been excited, I guess, by this success, most likely, even though someone died, you know, it's still a success. I imagine what's going to happen is Dedra's going to allow a bit more activity, because the goal is to eventually build up the rebellion to take them down after they've gained enough like notoriety and caused enough civil unrest and all that. So they're probably going to be boldified. It's not even the right word, I don't know, but they're going to be bold based on what they did here, and over the past year that we're going to time skip, they're probably going to have done a bunch of these, right? They're going to be more capable, more like grizzled, and probably a bit more overconfident in a way that's not going to be very good for them. But that's my first thing. And the second prediction is just a more of a general prediction. This is my final prediction as well, which is that I think basically, I feel like we've now finished the first kind of movie of a trilogy. And I feel like this next arc kind of feels like it's going to be the second movie of a trilogy, and the last one's going to be like the final one, where it feels like now we've ended on a very happy ending, at least for the majority of the stories, right? It feels like what's going to happen in this next one is that we're going to start off high with everyone having been so successful here, and we're going to end at the lowest point we've ever ended on, right? We're going to end on an Empire Strikes Back. We're going to end on I don't know, what are these trilogies that have like a bad second part or whatever? Like where it ends on a bad note. There's a bunch of them, I'm sure. But it feels like that's where we're going. I don't know what the climax of this next part will be. Will it be like that big mission on Gorman? Like, is the Empire going to make their move now, and that's going to be the climax? Maybe? I don't know. Is Saw Gerrera going to tie into anything? We didn't see him at all this episode. It might be. Who knows? But either way, I'm excited. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you next time.